Welcome to the class of Ignited Minds. So, as per your request, I've started with several other subjects like mathematics, English literature as always, science, and socials. So, today I have another very interesting chapter for you, which is very conceptual and basic, and at least with the current scenario, it is one to one connected. You must have seen COVID. Everybody keeps telling you close your nose, use mask, you should not breathe the infiltered air, you should be protective, the COVID may enter into your cells. So it is basically, or more or less related to the respiratory system. So let us today understand what is human respiratory system, what are the organs responsible in the respiratory system, what is breathing, what is respiration, and how does it affect your body. So let's start. Before starting about the main respiration system, let us study the mechanism of breathing. So suppose when you're walking or when you're running, you start breathing fast. Why does it happen? Now there is something very important for all of you to understand. There is a term called cellular respiration. Now what happens is, this is your nose, this is your mouth. You know that you always inhale oxygen and you exhale carbon dioxide, right? It is important for us to understand that our human body is made up of cells. Every organ in the human body consists of a cell. Now this is the basic structure of cell. Every organism is made up of cell. These cells are responsible for performing various functions. Now in human body there are several organs and each organ is responsible for doing a particular function like excretion, reproduction, nutrition and transportation. But now the question arises, if the cell of so many organs are performing these kind of functions, then from where is the cell getting energy? So the cell gets its energy from the food that we eat. Now what actually happens is, whenever we inhale oxygen, the oxygen reaches to all the cell of all the organs. Whenever we are breathing, obviously the air contains oxygen, so that oxygen goes to all the cells. This is your body, these are your cells, so the oxygen will reach to all the cells. Then it will go to the food and it will break down the food into what? Into carbon dioxide and water. It's a reaction, kind of a reaction. The oxygen in the air breaks down the food into carbon dioxide and water. Now this kind of respiration where air is used as a medium, glucose here is food, to divide glucose into carbon dioxide and water, it is called as aerobic respiration. As the name suggests, aerobic means air. So whenever air is used as a medium to break down the food into pieces, into carbon dioxide and water, it is called as aerobic respiration. Now whenever the food is divided into cell, is broken into cell, then that kind of mechanism is called as cellular respiration. Cellular respiration means when the food is break down inside the cell, and exactly this is happening here. So cellular respiration takes place in all the microorganisms where we have cell. Now aerobic respiration is when oxygen is used and oxygen is breaking the food. And aerobic respiration also takes place where the oxygen is not required to break the glucose. So in that case, glucose breaks down into alcohol, carbon dioxide and water. Such kind of respiration where oxygen is not used to break down the content is called as anaerobic respiration. An example of this is yeast. You must have heard about it. So now the basic thing is clear that every cell is responsible for a set of functions: excretion, reproduction, nutrition and transportation. Cells are present in every organism. These cells require some kind of energy to process. Now this energy they get from the food that we eat. Now how can they get energy from the food? This is the same energy that is released during the breakup. When you inhale oxygen, this oxygen reaches to several parts of your body, into the several cells, and that oxygen divides the food into carbon dioxide and water. So that carbon dioxide you exhale and that oxygen you inhale. So aerobic we use oxygen, anaerobic we don't use oxygen. Now this is the basic mechanism of breathing, right? Now in breathing there are two more concepts. One is inhalation and the second is exhalation. Needless to say, you all know when we intake the air it is called inhalation. When we take out the air it is called exhalation. Now coming on to the basic human respiratory system as it is shown here. Now I'm going to define one by one what are these parts and what exactly happens. The first part is a nasal passage. These are your nostrils. So obviously when you will inhale the air, they will enter through the nostril. And from there it will pass through the nasal passage. This is the nasal passage. This is your nostril. The air has entered the nostril and from there it will go to the nasal passage. This is actually oral activity. It is related to the mouth. But the air that you are taking is coming through the nasal passage. Then through this pipe, if you can see this pipe, the air blows through this pipe. It is called windpipe. Then from here it goes on to the lungs, right? Both the lungs. Now these lungs, this area covered by the lung is called chest cavity, right? Chest cavity is covered by two lungs, one on the right and one on the left hand side. This entire portion is called chest cavity. And it has two lungs on either side. Now this is diaphragm. It is a kind of a muscle structure which you can say is the base of these two lungs. So diaphragm you will always find at the base of the lungs. Now this is one pharynx and trachea. These are part of the windpipe itself. Now pharynx, usually what purpose it holds is, sometimes you must have seen that you start sneezing. Why it happens? See, air is a mixture of so many dust particles. If you go into a dust area, if you go into some area where the air is not pure, the particles enter through your nostrils. In your nostrils you have hair. Those hair hold all the dusty particle, but sometimes it happens that those particles are inhaled by us. The hair are not able to protect the impurities and they enter inside your body. When they enter inside your body, they will come into this pharynx lining. So hair itself, they will be thrown out. They will be separated. The impurities will be separated on this lining and they will come out as it is. So that sneezing is a part of the impurities coming back through the nose, which is done by this pharynx. Now these are the lungs and these are the ribs. Now we will see what actually happens when we inhale the air and what actually happens when we exhale the air. Inhale the air means when you include the air inside, when you take the air inside, your ribs will go out, right? And your diaphragm will start coming downwards. When the ribs are moving up and the diaphragm is moving down, that means there is a lot of space for the air to inside. The opposite happens whenever we exhale the air comes out, the ribs, they come inside and the diaphragm, it goes back. That means the space for the air reduces. Here the ribs move out and the diaphragm comes down, so the space is naturally increasing. The air can easily enter inside. The air can easily reach to several parts of the body. But when we are exhaling, the diaphragm contracts and the ribs start coming inside. So in this manner, the air doesn't have sufficient space to enter inside the lungs. That is why it is said that you should inhale in the fresh air so that you have a lot of oxygen coming inside your lungs. So this is the basic structure of human respiratory system. How does air come inside your several parts? How are your ribs coming out and air comes inside, and how your ribs are contracted and air comes out. So this is the process of human respiratory system, a very short and easy explanation. I hope the chapter is clear to you. If this introduction was clear, and understood well, then please go like and subscribe your YouTube channel. Thank you.